Creation's Journey to Life, Day 30, The Decision. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to participate in the graven image illusion as the mind and the world system through all ways and means possible to keep the abusive system going while paying lip service to my realization that the world must change without taking action financially and politically and in self change to prepare and facilitate the change that I realize must happen. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to not realize that the only way to change the world in a peaceful way would be through political means and the direction of my financial support. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to not realize that I make a decision for what happens in the world financially daily, politically, with every election, in my thought participation in the mind daily, in the lack of disciplined action to accumulate the eventual result of change daily. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to not realize that I have come to trust money in the current world system as my daily decision, where I completely disempower myself and dishonor life, justified as too big for little me to make any real difference, in spite of actual measurable solutions that are possible for humanity as a group through standing as a group. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to participate in the mind when I have had already many examples that my own thoughts cannot be trusted, as they are abusive and nasty towards other beings when I do not get my self interest fulfilled. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to not realize that when I make the decision to support life and to create a new system that will support life, there will be conflict in my world and many fear based labels, as I will be perceived as a threat to the graven image personalities that were part of my world. Yet, I must do what I have decided I must do, breath by breath, till I, in association with others that make the same decision, accumulate sufficient power in the current system politically, financially, and as the written word, to bring about the change that is best for all life. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to be confused about the decision, where I am unwilling to look at what I am not willing to let go of as controls that prevent me from becoming effective as contributor to a solution in this world, and that a decision will include the realization that my self-interest must be put aside till a new world system is in place, as I cannot serve two gods. I either serve life as what is best for all life, or I serve self-interest as what is best for me only. A decision must be made as who I am, and accordingly it will show in what I do and how I do it. And that will serve as evidence for those that stand as a decision as life, as to whom can be trusted to have made the decision and who not. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to deliberately disempower myself by taking on actions as an activist, while the real power behind activism is money, which comes from corporations that only serve the self interest of profit, forcing me as activist into a compromise where I am useless in fact, and only a token that will never change the world in fact. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to make the decision as my mind without realizing I must stop participating in the mind as part of the decision and practically walk breath by breath and walk with people as a group that have made a life decision to receive all the support as I am giving the support within the measure that I am able to. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to not see that during the process of planning and preparing for change, all will not be able to be equal in supporting the drive for change, and that each one will have to be self honest and support the change according to ability, either financially, in blogging, in moderation, in research, in all necessary points, depending on self honest assessment. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to not realize that a decision that is consistent breath by breath, directive within what is now able to be done, is of great importance to show how we one by one will accumulate the standing as life, and that unless I stand visibly with the decision for life, I have not yet actually made the decision to create myself and my world as life. I commit myself to show that who I am determines what I do, and that in what I do as my participation in this world, who I am will reflect. I commit myself to show that peaceful change in the world is possible through political means, and that all research and training in preparation to that eventual decision to enter the political arena must be supported in every way possible to confirm the decision that was made as life. I commit myself to show that lip service is useless unless a plan exists as to how the world problem must be addressed to bring about a world that is best for all life. I commit myself to show that self-interest that resulted from the current world system that caused all the abuse cannot be part of the decision for life as what is best for all life, as such decisions will be based on conditions that form part of abuse and can thus never result in what is best for all life. I commit myself to show by example that conflict will exist in the decision and that it can be directed either through common sense communication or through no participation in the abuse, till the self-interest of the abuser as research, consequence, and change becomes possible. I commit myself to show that a world that is best for all life is in fact possible using the system that now exists on Earth. I commit myself to call on all activists to reinvestigate their true support so that those that realize that change is necessary can align themselves with practical solutions if they can get past their ego of self-interest and acceptance of the current system. I commit myself to test my decision daily, to check that I am in fact aligned in my written words and actions to an outcome that is best for all life. I commit myself to remind each one to take active responsibility to the measure each are able, as that would be a statement of being equal to the decision for life made. I commit myself to show in every way necessary that the accumulation of a group for life is no different to the group on earth now formed by consumers in the pursuit of happiness and self-interest. The group for life will obviously interfere with the happiness of the ones that only are concerned with self-interest.